The Pentagon is drawing up plans to withdraw up to half of the 14,000 U.S. troops serving in Afghanistan. President Trump has long considered the 17-year war a lost cause, but earlier this year, Defense Secretary Jim Mattis and other military leaders convinced him to keep troops on the ground to pressure the Taliban toward the peace table. Now, today's announcement comes a day after the president abruptly ordered U.S. troops out of Syria and just hours after Mattis handed in his resignation letter.
It's a live look at the White House tonight, gone dark. When the sun comes up, the president will start the search for a new defense secretary. He has until the end of February to find one. Meantime, on Capitol Hill, lawmakers are bracing for a possible government shutdown after the House approved some money for the president's border wall. KPIX 5's Andria Borba is keeping track of both situations for us tonight. Andria?
Well, Ken, Elizabeth, while the rest of the country seems to be gearing down and winding up 2018, headed toward Christmas and New Year, Washington, D.C. remains wild, with a government shutdown looming and the sixth cabinet member to resign from President Trump's administration.
First, a stunning and blistering resignation letter from Secretary of Defense James Mattis. The retired four-star general submitted this two-page letter after meeting at the White House with the president. Because you have the right to a Secretary of Defense whose views are better aligned with yours on these and other subjects, I believe it is right for me to step down from my position.
Everything that indicates stability, everything that indicates strength, everything that indicates knowledge is leaving this administration.
Mattis's announcement that he would leave the DOD on February 28th comes just a day after the president announced victory against ISIS and a swift withdrawal of troops from Syria. White House officials indicated that the decision was the president's. It was a move that brought swift admonition from typical Trump supporters.
I don't know how this decision was made. It literally came out of left field.
Meanwhile, the threat of a government shutdown over Christmas is very close to becoming a reality.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Mr. Trump rejected a Senate plan that would fund the government until February 8th because it lacked funding for his border wall.
I've made my position very clear. Any measure that funds the government must include border security. Has to.
He's reversing his position about signing a bill. Maybe he thinks if government shut down, he can golf more comfortably.
Late this evening, the Republican-led House passed another continuing resolution that would fund the government and include $5.7 billion for a border wall.
The Trump temper tantrum will shut down the government, but it will not get him his wall. The bill that's on the floor of the House, everyone knows will not pass the Senate.
Yeah, so Andrea, the votes don't appear to be there in the Senate by indications on all sides. So what happens next if the government actually shuts down? Well, then what?
Well, Ken, the date and time to be on the lookout for is 12:01 a.m. Saturday on the East Coast. That is when the government shutdown will begin if the Senate does not pass a continuing resolution. Now, they need 60 votes to get a continuing resolution out of the Senate at this point. It needs to have bipartisan support. But for Democrats, the issue of the wall and funding the wall is a non-starter. So there is some questions tonight about whether or not this will make it out of the Senate at this point. There are also senators who say they're getting ready to leave for the Christmas holiday. Among those, Bob Corker of Tennessee, who says he's leaving for Chattanooga tomorrow, no matter what.
Wow. Andria Borba reporting live. Thank you, Andria.